Hi guys, welcome to another 406 mail call. I'm pretty excited about this one. I got stuff from Scott's house of H.O Racing, stuff from Shelby American down in Las Vegas, plus some deliveries from eBay, plus a big reveal at the end. So without further delay, let's get into it. All right, so this first box is going to be from Scott's house of H.O Racing. So I just want to give a shout out to Scott. Thank you, Scott, for doing all that you do on your channel. You have a great channel. I have a lot of fun watching your shows, being able to chat with everybody on there. And thank you for the opportunity to be able to purchase some of your cars. You have a great collection and keep it up, buddy. I'll look forward to the next one as always. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. One thing I do want to kind of tell you about is I've been kind of getting back into the old IndyCar scene. And as a kid, I had a yellow Indy car just like this one, and I had an old Tyco track, and I don't remember which track that was, but what I do remember is having fun sending these things down the track, and then, obviously they would fly off, hit the wall or something, or, in my case, I'd send it down the track and it'd fly off, hit my brother in the head. So either which way, it was pretty fun. But I just remember having good times with these things, and which kind of brought me back, getting into the hobby, like for many people. Let's go ahead and get into what Scott sent me. So when I seen this car on Scott's channel, I knew I had to take a chance and pick it up. And it's another Indy car. And if it looks as good on TV as it does now, I'll be very happy. So yeah, sure enough, this black and yellow Valvoline car, a Tyco car, and very sharp, very clean looking. Thank you, Scott. You sell really good quality cars. Even the rear wing on there still flaps, sometimes either broken or stuck or whatever. And really the tires on here for the age of the car really aren't all that bad. I mean, yeah, they're a little slick, a little dried out, but I've seen a lot worse. And what car wouldn't be complete without the old carpet fuzz and hair in there? So Scott, if you want the carpet fuzz and hair back, if you're watching this, just let me know in the comments. Thank you very much, Scott. Very nice looking car. Move on to the next. So like a lot of other collectors out there who do slot cars and whatnot, probably get into the die-cast cars. You guys have seen my other videos where my track is covered with dragster die-cast cars and all sorts of other scale cars. This one here is from Shelby American down in Las Vegas. And so this is going to kind of lead up to the old big reveal here at the end, which I'm so excited about. Gotta love the popcorn. Nothing makes more of a mess than popcorn foam things. I'm gonna have to hide those from my kid. He likes to eat those. 16 years old. Anyhow, 2006 Shelby GT-H Hertz edition car, and very beautiful looking car, nice and clean. And this appears to be to have the chrome mag wheels on there, which on the original, I don't want to say they're original, but in 2006, when Shelby and Hertz got together and created the Rent a Racer program again, just like they did in '66, the first 7 of these cars, and they only made 500 of them, the first 7 of them came with chrome wheels. All the other ones came with a gray painted wheel, but this one's got the chrome wheels on here, so might be a good indication of the first 7 that came out. Anyhow, nice looking car. That will definitely be joining the old collection there. So that's going to lead me up to this bigger fella here. This is off of eBay, or how Scott says it, Evil Bay. So this is a 1/18 scale, 2006 Shelby GT. And like I said earlier, I collect all scales of die-cast cars and slot cars and whatnot. But anyhow, so instead of talking about die-cast cars for the whole video, let's just go ahead and show you the real thing. All right, guys, so here it is, 2006 Shelby GT-H. I'm going to try to give you guys the best Jay Leno's Garage video that I can do, but that's a pretty high mark. So anyhow, like I said, 2006 Shelby GT-H, the iconic black car with the gold stripes going down the middle there. Everybody recognizes these things as being Hertz cars, and this car is no exception. It is beautiful through and through. This is a numbered car. This is 124 out of 500. Like I said earlier, they only made 500 of these things in 2006. 2007, they made another 500, but those were convertible cars. Same black paint, same gold stripe, just convertible. To jump back ahead into 2006, so they only made 500 of them, but the first 7 of them were called executive cars. They were manual cars. They also came with the gold mag wheels. Now these ones here, they're painted gray mag wheels and they're automatics. So really, 493 of them are like this. This is, like I said, number 124. So the cool thing about this is that when these cars came from Dearborn, Michigan, from the Ford plant there, out to Shelby, America in Las Vegas. And so a quick few things what Shelby did is that they got rid of the hood here. So this is a fiberglass hood, totally redesigned just specifically for these Shelby Hertz cars. Then they added in the gold stripes on top of that. So some people think that these are Le Mans stripes, which they're not. Le Mans stripes are a bit wider. These are a little bit more narrow to be able to fit in between the windshield nozzles here. And so not only did they do that, they added in the hood pins, they changed out the exhaust, they changed out the H pipe, went with an X pipe, and put Ford Racing Performance mufflers on there, which gives it a great tone on the outside with no drone on the inside. That's important. So without further ado, let's kind of just get this thing out on the road, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it, and I'll show you some other stuff. So let's get going. All right, guys, so here we are, and we're about ready to get it out on the road, take a quick trip. I got to run down to my dad's house, deliver him some food. I'm still taking care of my dad after Ma passed away. Anyhow, so like I said earlier in the video, super clean on the inside. I mean, there's the dash, there's the CSM number, and yes, guys, I do wear driving gloves. This steering wheel is in immaculate condition. It's kind of a hot summer day. My hands are sweaty, so therefore driving gloves. Anyhow, so, and here's the CSM plaque. Now this here is more or less like a sticker. I have an actual plaque in the trunk that I'll probably put on later on, but some of these got sent out with just the sticker in there. But CSM number 2006 H 124 out of 500. Pretty cool. Shaker 500 stereo system. Sounds fantastic. So let's go ahead and pan around to the passenger side here. And so one thing that is pretty infamous with Mustangs are their fabric door panels here. I've never been in a Mustang with this fabric door panel where it hasn't started coming in. So I had the same type of door panels or fabric panels on my red convertible. I pulled those off and stuck in a plastic piece from Coverlay that goes over this whole piece in here, but I'm going to leave that in there. That's part of the car. It's original. It hasn't started falling off just yet, so it's going to stay just like that. And so, back seat looks like nobody's ever sat in a back seat. Not a scratch, not a crease mark or anything like that. Super clean. Shifter doesn't even have any scratches on the shifter or anything like that. No dirty hand marks or anything. And one thing that Hertz did when they got the cars, they had the traction control made it to where it was more permanent, to where it was permanently on. You know, that's to help people not race them around corners or anything like that. It's to help them keep the cars in decent shape and whatever. But what you can do is you can take this button off and remove the clip. If you remove the clip on the back side of it, then you can turn the traction control off. So for anybody out there who's got another Hertz Shelby, if they're wanting to know how to get that traction control turned off, pop that button, remove that clip, and there you go. So let's go ahead and back on out of here and we'll get on the road. Nice cool evening. Kind of muggy though. It is muggy, let me tell you that. Got a lot of humidity in the air. But just the sound of that V8 it's soothing. You know, if I'm ever having a hard time sleeping, I just need to come out here, turn on that V8 motor and just kind of let it relax me a little bit. Just a nice running car. So with the springs, they put a lowering spring on here, kind of dropped the body about an inch or so, and then I believe it has Eibach adjustable shocks. Could be wrong on that. Those also might be Ford performance shocks, but they are adjustable. At least that's what one guy was telling me, that they were adjustable shocks. But I haven't looked at it just yet because it rides so nice as it is. It's got a nice firm suspension to it. I kind of like that. It makes you kind of forces you to slow down for you know, bumps and things like that, so you don't get too carried away with it. Nice day for driving around the neighborhood here. Usually there's quite a few people out walking, but it is kind of getting a little late to be walking around. But just a nice, smooth, throaty sound. And this is, whenever I do go for walks or drives or whatnot, I always like coming down here. Most of the time you get a nice view of the mountains, but we've got some local fires around here that you know, kind of ruin that for us. So it's pretty smoky, pretty hazy over there. It's still a nice sunset though. Somebody decided it'd be a great idea to park their boat in the middle of the street. It'd be too hard to hook up onto that thing and remove that problem, but it's one thing. Thefts around here have been kind of on the up and up. People just can't leave other people's stuff alone. a nice day to drive through the neighborhood here. So it does kind of suck having that traction control option on, you know, but tell you what, once you get into that pedal, once you're deep into it, man, it really picks up. It really wants to go. I don't know if I mentioned it before in the video, but when it came back from Shelby after all the upgrades and stuff like that, normally the Ford GT, the 4.6 liter, would have around 290, 300 horsepower. After all the upgrades that Shelby did to it, it bumped it up to 325 or so. And so probably about I don't know, maybe about 310 at the wheels. But I won't know that till I get it on the dyno. So we just got back from taking a drive down to my dad's house. And so one thing I wanted to point out, and we're going to start here at the front of the car, kind of walk our way around. But when these cars went to Shelby, Shelby changed out the whole front, the whole front end. And what do I mean by that? The bumper, the lower splitter. They put in the billet grill here. And you got the pony symbol on the right-hand corner down there. So they changed out this bumper here with along with the splitter at the bottom. Now, this lower grill does not have the billet grill in there. That was an aftermarket option that you could purchase and put in on your own or through a shop or whatnot. But they did put in the lower grill covers there. So also, when it left, and you can see there the painted mag wheels there. But Shelby also put the Shelby stripes flowing along down the side. Looks very beautiful. And then also the Hertz badge emblem there. So just a nice little touch on that fender to kind of help legitimize that is definitely a Hertz car. So wrapping around the backside back here, and Ford Racing Performance mufflers. They're connected to a X pipe, and just a beautiful sounding car overall, and not, it's quiet on the inside, nice and throaty on the outside, which I really like. As I get a little bit older, having the loud exhaust is not so much of a thrill anymore. And then they also added in the side scoops, the Shelby side scoops. Once again, coming around down here again, see the Hertz badging, the Shelby GT stripes. Coming right back across the hood here, and the hood pins, and just an overall beautiful looking car. And let's go ahead and take a quick peek underneath the hood, and I'll show you a few things there. All right, so let's talk about what happens underneath the hood here. So when Shelby got a hold of these cars, they put the tower strut support going across there, the Ford Racing Performance cold air intake, and they reflashed the ECM for a performance race tune. And as far as that goes, that's pretty much all the upgrades they did to the engine wise. I was also told that this originally was a 70 millimeter throttle body. They upgraded it to a 90 millimeter throttle body. I'm not for sure on that. I think that's just a regular stock throttle body that came on there. But another thing that Hertz did when they got these cars, and this is going to go back to 1966 with the 66 GT350 and the rental racer program. When people back in 66 would get these cars, they would also, some of them would get them for the weekend, take them home to the garage, pull out the the motor that Shelby had built up and put in there, and then stick in a regular Mustang motor. And so it got to be quite expensive for Hertz to repair these cars after people would get done with them, you know, from their race weekends and whatnot, and just going around town causing chaos on the streets and donuts on the sidewalks. No, I don't know if they actually did that or not, but hey. So in order to help combat that, Hertz stuck in these tamper tags here. And so that way, if Hertz got these cars back after a rental, these tags were removed. That's a good indication that, hey, that somebody has been tampering with the motor here or tried to pull it. And then just at another glance here, I was noticing you got some of these painter marks here, some of these blue marks here on the throttle body, just showing that that's never been pulled off and replaced. Not that I can tell. And also here with the strut bar is you got the yellow spots on there, showing that those indications that they're lined up perfectly, meaning those things have probably never been turned or whatnot. So yeah, just overall a really super clean, super cool car. And another thing that just came to my attention as I was making this video, I heard that out of the 500 of these cars, that there's only 398 of them left. Now, can I absolutely verify that? No, I can't. I just got a call from somebody who's been kind of digging into it, and they said, yeah, 398 of them, you know, 400 of them, which I guess could be true. I'll never know. And I didn't really question as to how he found out about it, but I guess he's just been doing some research and you know, come up with 400. Once again, here is the CSM plaque that's covering over the VIN number of the car. But let's go ahead and get into some of the documentation that came with the car and before we end the video. All right, so I'm not normally accustomed to using the hood of any car as a table, but my little red table is preoccupied holding slot car stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and just do a quick overall view of some of the documentation that came with this car when I got it. And this is, like I said, it's some of it. It's not all of it, but I thought this was some of the cooler stuff. So here's a little poster signed by Carroll Shelby, and that's not his original signature. That's more like an auto pen type deal, but still, it's in fairly good shape for being 20 years old. It's got a few little creases in it. Tried to get the glare out of there, but still a pretty cool thing. I think I'm going to have that laminated, and that'll go with to the car shows with me. So scoot on over here. Here's a certificate to the original purchaser of the car from Hertz when Hertz was selling these cars. So Mr. John Standish. It's got Gary Patterson's signature on there, as well as Okoa Fisher, Gary Davis, Amy Boylan, and of course Carroll Shelby himself. Another auto pen feature. And this is what I kind of like right here is Try to get some of the glare off of there, but you know, silly garage lights. But this is the catalog from the summer 2007 that you could order parts off here just specifically meant for the Shelby GTs and a few other model cars. But um, there's even a supercharger in here that's meant for this. So you can actually send your Hertz car back to Shelby. Shelby would then put a supercharger on it, and plus some different types of seats and some other type of badging indicating that this is not only a Shelby GT-H, but it is also a Shelby GT-H SC, standing for supercharged. Um, they don't do that anymore. Believe me, I called, I checked, double checked, rechecked. No, I can't send this thing back to Shelby to have a supercharger put on it. They only do performance parts for cars, I believe 2022 and newer. So I'm a couple years too late. And so let's go back down here. And so this is the what do I want to say, the MSRP for as it left the Ford manufacturing. And so you can see some of the stuff that came stock with on there. And then the suggested MSRP then was $28,490. And then dark charcoal leather interior, and it's still brand new. So it left the Ford factory as a 06 GT Coupe Premium. And I mean, they even left the factory as a very nice car. But let's get into the goods that Shelby put on here. And right off the bat, you can see the 355 rear assembly that they put in there. Change out to gear ratios. They're now 355 to 1 gear ratio. Some end bushings, and then some performance suspension parts, torsion bars, struts, shocks, that sort of thing. And then also the power pack, like I said before, the exhaust, Ford Racing Performance exhaust with the X pipe, cold air intake, reflash the ECM on there. And like I said before, the front fascia, the lower grill parts, pony gas cap, side scoops, upper grills, pins, Shelby letters, and some of the badging to go along with it. And also with the fiberglass hood, they had to put in different types of washing fluid nozzles and some of the other parts to go with it, and traction control clip. So like I said earlier, when this left Shelby, Hertz wanted to have that traction control on all the time, so you're not out there spinning Brodies, donuts, causing chaos on the sidewalks, just having a good old time. But like I said earlier, you can remove that clip by popping that button off of there. Will I do it? I don't know. I think it's part of the originality of the car, but who knows? Later on, I might want to just tear that off and get into it.